All right. Welcome back. We are playing Ironsworn, episode 9. This might get chopped up. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So yeah, where we last left off is Jurek met some folks and re-met an old self-proclaimed enemy, and yeah, got Ajla back from the past, and that's where we kind of left off from earlier, and then discussed a whole lot of game stuff, which was great. But yeah, um, I'm just trying to think of like where we want to start. I mean, like I did a, I did you a little dirty because it's like I ended up doing more DMing than I probably should have
No, that's
for
that's
last
all
time.
good.
But yeah,
Oh,
didn't know
I
how you
felt like I
wanted to.
needed it to get me back into it after a few weeks break.
Well, I mean, try something different. I mean, as far as I can, tell, it's like, you could push me like a mop today. It's like if you want, like, get Ajla to do something. Um, so that is fine. Or what? Oh, that's right. One of the things that we forgot for last time was working on the
Oh yeah, we should just do a little
progress
wrap
track.
up with yeah.
Yeah, we should look at that because I mean,
Take a look at like the background vows. So make peace with Tavik. I think
you called upon him like
yes.
for your path when you did Spirit Bound, I think it was.
Yeah, and I think maybe the whole thing about him reflecting on the battle and his past and so on maybe
Hmm.
counts a little toward that.
Yeah,
I'm
I would
gonna
think so.
So that's an extreme. So I get 2 ticks. Bringing me up to 2 progress boxes and 2 ticks. Quarter way there.
um, I don't know if you want to think like getting at least one tick for Ajla because in a way, I mean, again, like narratively, it did work out this way, even though it's under Ajla's tab. I mean, you did better your story in a way
Yeah,
of like not killing the Iron Priest off the top. So I don't know if you want me to pick a tick or something like that, just to at least help that along. Um,
it seems reasonable because yeah, I think
yeah,
you know Jurek reacted to things the way he did because she was on his mind, right?
yeah,
So I think that makes sense to me.
yeah. Okay. So
So you have what do you have there? You have like a dangerous
yeah,
quest,
I think so.
dangerous vow. So that would be 2 boxes, right? Per progress. Yeah.
Okay. So 2 ticks then? I mean, I'm not sure how like
No,
how
it's
how
two.
much I.
It's two full
Oh,
boxes because it's
oh, really?
dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Okay,
don't
gotcha.
have to even have to worry about ticks on that one.
Oh, okay, that's good. Alrighty, cool. I mean, like, if anything, I mean, like, with the way things are going, I mean, you could conceivably say, "I'm going to help you better your story before you go back to White Cairn,
Mm-hmm.
see how that looks." But not sure where we're at right now. Um, okay, so let's see. Okay, so we've done the progress tracks. I don't know if, again, after getting Ajla back, you want to say, okay, well, now we can sort of relax. Although, the Iron Priest is probably like, cursing you out right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how you want to deal with that. I mean, conceivably, you could have the giant child shake him asleep or something. I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's it's up to you. Like, what do you think is the most likely? Or you can roll on a table and see what we can make of it.
I think the way Jurek would approach this maybe is he turns to, he turns to Ajla. I think this is maybe, she's been back for a little while by this point. Not
Yeah.
not hours, but
Well, I think by now we've been able to light a fire, or at least a small
mm,
one,
mm,
you
yeah.
know, from the embers of the funeral pyre. Oh,
And
yikes.
he'll turn to her and say, "You think you can speak to that child and see if you can find out where his parents, his people are. We need to be moving on, but I don't feel right about leaving him."
I'm, I mean, how long have you been, well, um, sitting with him? I mean, but he almost crushed you the last time we saw him. I mean, how is he so calm now?
Well, that, that fellow Orms seems to have something of a way with him.
I mean, do you think that Orm wants to, or, well, I know Orm. I mean, I guess I could conceivably ask him, if he's talked with, what did you say his name was? I mean, Tome, right?
Tome.
Okay, all right. Yeah, let me go over and talk with Orm first, and then see if he's found out anything from the giant child, and then we'll go from there. But did you get any rest at all? I mean, I
Not not yet, but I think I have a matter to deal with first.
and I think by this time, of course, that once we've lit the fire, I think we can see that the the Iron Priest is quiet for now, but looks kind of sullen as he's staring into the embers of this fire from an edge of the funeral pyre, and just probably remembering what had transpired here 10 years ago. And Ajla will go over and walk over to Orm and Tome to kind of have a conversation, just to see if she can find out, how's it going? What's been going on. And yeah, I'm like, what do you do?
Jurek gets over and kind of goes down on his haunches in front of the Iron Priest, whose name I keep forgetting. And Somshiyr. And we'll just sit in front of him for a few seconds before staring, looking into his eyes before saying anything. Seems you've a score to settle with me, Iron Priest.
He looks at you, and in the flickering flames, you can see how much his eyes want to bore into you and strike you just as easily as a sword. And he looks back at you, glaring. I remember. I remember exactly what happened 10 years ago. Here. Do you?
You think I could forget? The question is, what do we do now? It seems to me there's two ways out of here. Either you let this drop, and I let you walk away. Or you don't let it drop, and you give me no choice.
He looks away from you into the fire and then looks back with this vicious grin on his face. You mean like the choice that you didn't give my companion all those years ago?
That's right.
I've been trained, Hawk. I've been doing this for some time now. Who's to say that you wouldn't be the one at the edge of my blade?
I think you misunderstand me. I wasn't proposing to cut you free and give you a fair fight. Either you tell me you're going to walk out of here and let this drop, or I'll cut your throat as you sit there.
He looks away from you again and then sets his jaw.
I was going to say, is this a compel?
Yeah.
If we want to leave it up to the dice,
Could leave it up to the dice, see what it says.
just give us some inspiration. So,
Yeah, well,
I think I'm threatening or inciting. So that's rolling plus iron on that compel, right? That is a 6 versus a 6 and a 1. So a weak hit. On a weak hit, as above, which is they'll do what you want, or shall they know. Make +1 momentum. But they ask something of you in return. Envision what they want. Or ask the Oracle if unsure.
so. His eyes will drift to from the fire and then notice that you cut your hand. Why did you do that? Why were you bloodletting in front of the funeral pyre?
My companion there. And he kind of nods his head toward Ajla. Needed me to bring her back.
Bring her back from what?
I'm not sure I can explain. I'm not sure I understand myself.
Well, she was not here before. Otherwise, she would have probably called Bardic Passage again. You did magic.
Are you going to tell me that's against your religion?
No, but I don't normally see anyone doing bloodletting with the blade unless it's a particular ritual. And it's not of the Iron Priest's rituals. It's almost of the old ways.
I wouldn't know.
You obviously did, because you performed it. Where did that blood go?
I had help. I'm no sorcerer. I'm a simple enough man. Now, to the matter in hand. And he pulls a knife out from his boot. Am I cutting those ropes? Or am I cutting your throat?
I think at this point, one of the three talking away a little ways from you probably notices that you pull out your knife. Just for funsies. What is it? For the likelihood? It's like, it's the Ask the Oracle, I think.
There's a variety of. Hold on.
This is the one of who, the likelihood of them noticing. Is that the
So we assign a likelihood. So you've got almost certain, likely, 50-50, unlikely, or small chance.
right?
And then what are they noticing here? Or no, who's noticing what?
They're noticing that you pull out the knife and present it. And, I mean, you could just as easily be saying, "I'm going to cut you free," but
Yeah.
the way you're presenting it could be something else. So, let's do yes or no. Okay.
50-50?
Gonna say yes. Like what the odds are of a yes, to see if somebody notices. And this would be just the
Yeah, just a percentile.
Okay.
So if we're going to say the odds are 50-50, then it's 51 or greater is a yes.
Okay. Jesus. 56.
All right, that's the yes.
Okay. So, I think Ajla's back is to you, but then Orm is looking on and can see that you've pulled out your knife, and then just kind of looks around Ajla to gesture what you've done. And I think she turns around to see this. And then she goes, "Jurek, what are you doing?"
I'm giving him a choice.
"What kind of choice?" As she's walking over.
Ajla, you know what kind of choice.
She doesn't look at you. She looks down at the ground. I guess... it's a little better than what I saw when I was in the past. She keeps her eyes closed. I remember seeing you watching you just cut a swath through these people. I know they were the rival warband. I know that they were just as eager to kill you and Tavik and your companions. But it still didn't make it any better to watch you, even as you were, or Tavik was interrogating, to see you dispatch them if you didn't get the answer or answers you wanted. I suppose giving him a choice is a lot better than what you did before.
We can't let him keep following us. I'm taking a big enough risk if I let him go that he's telling the truth. But believe me, I don't take any pleasure in what I may have to do. A younger man might have.
I understand. It just doesn't make it any easier to watch. If... yeah. But you're giving him the choice to decide.
I am.
I think in this instance, Ajla will turn away and walk back to Orme and Tome. And the priest will look at you. Somshiyr will look at you. So you've never felt this much hatred for anyone in your life, for someone who's wronged you so badly.
Oh, I've hated. But it doesn't do any good. It doesn't make the thing right. It doesn't put anything to the rest.
I don't know if he would didn't know if he would let you go. He might ask for blood for blood.
What does that look like?
Running you through, just as you ran him through.
Will that bring him back?
No. But it might satisfy the old ways. Kind for kind.
With that,
He looks directly at you. Finally. You at least didn't run me through as soon as you captured me. So I guess that's a small blessing. What would you do if the positions were reversed? If you were here tied up and I actually gave you a choice?
I think you'd do well not to model your behavior on what I might do.
And then a mark of pain goes across his face. We didn't mean anything to you. Not then. Not now.
Our folk have been in this land for, what, 6 generations, 9 generations? I'm no historian. How many men and women have killed each other over some warlord's squabble in those years? How many are doing it right now?
The look of pain doesn't leave his face. He closes his eyes and just cries out. If I stop, I will always feel haunted that I let you go. And I didn't avenge my father.
Let me tell you a secret. If you cut me down right here, you'll always be haunted by what happened to your father.
And then what kind of peace is there if I let you go?
I don't make any promises. I won't come looking for you.
He nods. The old ways say kind for kind. The way I've been trained says I should just mete out the punishment as it's deserved. But you have not done anything to deserve any of our punishment yet. I leave it for you then. I will kneel here and present my bonds to you, my bound hands. Choose to cut me loose or cut me down, as you will. And then he turns away, kneels, so he's facing away from you, and presents his bound wrists to you. But he is kneeling with his back straight, his head up, looking into the darkness.
And Jurek will reach down and cut him free.
At that, you can hear the audible sigh and shudder in his shoulders. And he bows his head. He turns, so you see the profile of his face. And he speaks to you. You need to go. Leave here. Now. I need to honor my dead. And you need to leave before you soil this land any more than you already have.
So be it.
And he nods, remaining kneeling.
But if I turn around tomorrow morning and I see you riding behind us, I'll know you've made your choice.
He just turns back to look at the darkness. If if you turn to look back at Ajla, Orme, and Tome, they've almost been frozen in a tableau, watching, silent, and just looking on with varying expressions of worry, puzzlement, and in Orm's case, a strange intensity, as if he's writing it all down in his head about what transpired. But yeah, they're just, again, stock still, watching.
So Jurek will just walk over, kind of looking pensive. So, what's the story with our young friend here?
Ajla just again looks at you worriedly, and then Orm kind of shakes himself out of his eager staring and says, "Oh, yes, sorry. Uh, yes, Tome, it seems, has decided to wander the world and make his way away from his family. He can't tell us how far he's been, but this is definitely not his usual habitat. So, yes, I've decided that I can wander the world with him. I mean, being with such a companion will guarantee me not to be waylaid as easily, I imagine. Although I'll have to find a town soon to earn my keep, so this way I can also pay for his hearty appetite. Maybe we can create some kind of act and earn more coin. What say you, Tome? And Tome will just look at him with a smile growing on his face and just kind of nod and kind of run with it. And yeah. Are you, and Orm looks back at you, Jurek, and are you going to leave now? I mean, you haven't gotten any rest.
We'll get some rest a little way up.
And Tome will pipe up and say, "We watch him." And a kind of present, not an open palm, but almost like reaching out to kind of, I don't know, nudge you a little bit on the shoulder with his big hand.
I'd appreciate that.
And
We both would.
He nods, smiles a little in his kind of lopsided way, and says, "Go, we watch."
Ajla,
I can ride. I mean, and she turns over to Orm and says, "Are you going to be okay being with, you know, your new large companion?" And he murmurs something to her and kind of just gives her a hug and says, "Don't worry, it'll be fine, just like it always is." And then he'll turn away and then kind of motion to Tome to kind of go towards the Iron Priest, towards Somshiyr, and kind of just sit and just like kind of wait. And Ajla will go towards the horses and say, "We do need to find some place very soon. I mean, want to make sure that we are far away from here, I suppose."
Yeah, I think Jurek will go up to Orme and just say, "Thank you for your help."
"Not a problem, friend. I hope to talk with you more when things aren't quite so harrowing and truly get your tail. Unless she," and he nods over to Ajla, "unless she beats me to it."
Jurek just gives a small smile and turns to get on his horse.
And Ajla follows. So,
I was going to suggest a forge a bond there with Orme, but I don't think Jurek's quite there, even if Orme probably is.
well, he's a guy who makes friends everywhere, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if you. I mean, again, it's like if you want to build not a track, but like a list, I guess. I mean, there's no telling that you wouldn't necessarily meet Orm again, or like even
Yeah.
Tome.
I mean, we could make a roll for it.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so I would just roll plus half. 3 versus a 2 and an 8, so a wicked. They ask something more of you first. Envision what it is. Do it or swear an iron vow and mark the bond. If you refuse or fail, pay the price. You want something from me?
I think he does turn back and then like kind of looks at you and says, "Now, again, this is you want to roll for it. Like, let's see what it comes up with. I'm perfectly happy to do so because
I
you know what he's gonna do. He's gonna like sit you down and say, we should really like record something, of one of your tales or something, or again roll for it and see what he's gonna say."
I think that makes sense that he's going to want some of your stories, or yeah, and I think Jurek can say, if our paths cross again and we have time, I'll sit down with you and tell you a few tales. I don't promise they'll be happy ones or crowd-pleasing tales, but tales
No,
nonetheless.
no worries, friend. And he actually claps you on the shoulder with a hearty hand, and he'll say, "It's like no worries, as Ajla knows. I can always embellish to suit the crowd."
I think, yeah, Jurek will even swear an iron vow to He'll take the dagger he was holding in one hand, and with the other he'll like clasp Orme on the shoulder and say, "Next time we meet, I owe you a tale or two, and I swear I'll make them a tale worth the hearing." So I think I'm just going to count that as a troublesome.
Yeah, sure.
And then roll plus heart, right? Yes. Oh dear. That's a 4 versus a 5 and a 10, so that's a miss.
So what's the price
You
on
might
this?
face a significant obstacle before you can begin your quest, and vision what stands in your way.
Now, continuing the quest that we're on now, or continuing the quest before we meet him again? I mean, how do you interpret that?
Yeah, this is like before I can start. No, yeah, before I can begin with the quest to tell him the story. I
Mm,
think perhaps Jurek has to kind of come to terms with what he's willing to tell of his past, right? And
I mean, he's been reticent before. I mean, like,
yeah,
even Ajla can't like, um, you know.
so I'm going to suffer the -2 momentum,
Oh God. Okay.
and
What does that bring you down to now?
I was on 8 a second ago, I'm sure, and
Okay.
then so I'm down to 6,
Oh goodness.
which is not too bad. And but yeah, that's kind of I think he has this mental mental block between of being willing to talk about some of the stories he knows before he could do this.
Yeah.
But I'll mark the quest nonetheless.
Okay.
So
I mean,
um,
if anything, I mean, you can almost say that you're going to earn new tales because you are no longer the hawk that
right,
had those tales that you don't consider glorifying anymore.
yeah, that's
I mean, of course you're going
that's
to
a
have a
good
mental
yeah,
block.
that's a good one. That it's kind of yeah, I'll gather some tales that are tales that I would share.
Yeah.
Mm,
And see if you want to make a new name for yourself. Although, if we get to White Cairn and it's like something new, it's like, will you be recognizable, Jurek,
mm,
to your old friends? Hmm.
indeed. But then I will. Jeez. I'm having some fun and games with this sheet here.
What are you trying to do?
Fill in a bond for.
Oh,
I've got it now.
it's about stories.
Where's my bonds track? Must be at the top, so I'm up to 3 ticks on that. Okay.
We're hitting
With
the hour mark. Do you want to take a
yeah, I was
break?
just going to say, should we? That's a good scene
Yeah.
wrap up there.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take like in this case it's like I gotta do something. I
Yeah,
have so like 10 minutes.
yeah, that's fine with me.
All right, so the 12 mark. So I'll
Yep.
see you in 10. Okie
Yes.
doke.
Okay.
Okay, so we are riding, still kind of nighttime or whatever, and I mean, I think we ride away where we make sure that we're not um, seeing the fire anymore, like the dim glow of whatever fire we left, and then like get past some rolling hills, and then just I guess be near a road but not on the road, because it's like we're still following like what you want to do, which is kind of stay as incognito as possible or what have you. And so we are, well, where do you think we are, like on this way to White Cairn? What's
Mm.
the terrain look like? Or if you want to roll on a table to find out, sure.
Yeah, I think we can, we are in this kind of rubble strewn, or not rubble, what's the word for those kind of, stones, stony fields and moors kind of terrain. And I think maybe I think we'd probably look for some trees or some kind of cover
Sure.
in case, well, for A, for like being observed, and B, for if the weather turns bad, which is not unusual.
Right.
Um, so yeah, maybe we find a kind of stand of trees. It's probably not a forest so much, but you know, a little wood or
Yeah.
something, and we'll take some cover there where we
Well,
can.
it's not. Yeah, it's not full canopy. It's more like
Mm,
like some like batches of trees, or just yeah. It's like not even like like a thick wood or anything like that,
yeah,
where
right.
the branches are tangled above us or what have you. It's more like these random trees, and just kind of going through them. When do you think? Well, let me ask you. Like, do you want to keep riding until we find some place, or are we trying
Oh, that's
to
a good point. Yeah, we could.
get to um a place to rest, basically?
Yeah, a place to rest. So should we do a place oracle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Location.
let's do
Yeah,
that.
why not? You want to roll? I've been rolling all day today, so
Okay.
why don't you give it a percentage?
Okay. These different ones now. That would be a 62.
Which would be a more perfect.
Okay. Tall grasses, open field,
Mm,
or kind of like squishy, like damp.
I think, yeah, like rolling hill,
Mm-hmm.
and a few clumps of trees here and there,
Right.
and maybe we'll find some trees as a place to take a rest. But yeah, I guess it's evident that we're further from the kind of settled lands, or getting further from the more thickly settled
Mm-hmm.
areas.
Yeah.
There's no villages. There's no, um, the road is maybe a little, or the track is maybe a little sparse here.
Ajla pipes up and says, "We're going to need to find some place soon. I mean, like we need to supply the horses. I mean, don't think I've seen anything since we were by that river. I think so. Yeah, we need to figure out some kind of supply. But I think we need our rest at some point soon."
You're right. We do need to rest up. Let's get Let's take some cover in those trees. Maybe we can even risk a fire.
Hmm. I'm happy not to. I mean, we lit one, well, way back when we were at that battlefield. So I understand if you want to be still very stealthy. I mean,
I'm most worried about our friend we left behind there deciding to follow us after all, but I think we'll see him coming if he does.
yeah. I mean, it's more open land now, so it's not like we couldn't hear or see him coming. But I'm hoping he gives that dream of revenge up. Every story that I have about revenge usually ends quite badly for the one that's trying to do the vengeance.
That's what I tried to tell him. Let's hope he took me seriously.
Hopefully. I mean, when you struck his companion down, I mean, he was still very young. He was feeling it personally, obviously, but he was also feeling it like he couldn't let that go. I mean, he grew into that feeling. I can't imagine what it must be like to have your feeling of revenge, your desire for revenge, grow as you grow and attain a maturity that's, well, like a fruit that's overripe. It's not good. I seem to be losing words. Sorry.
I think that metaphor needs a little work before you turn it into a song.
I wasn't planning on turning it into a song. I don't have Orm's facility for rhythm. He's a bit tuneless when he gets going, especially in his cups, but he does fine. Yeah, I'm more into telling stories, hopefully to inspire, but this, I mean, again, I do have some cautionary tales, and they usually have to do with, well, stuff like that. Revenge that is not satisfying to anyone.
Aye, that's the way of it. Anyway, let's get that fire started.
And you clear a space, and then you have a little fire going, and you sit. Well, imagine you let the horses graze behind you somewhere, and Ajla will sit somewhat close to the fire, and kind of reach her hands out towards it, and just looks at you. through all this. I mean, I would have understood if you, well, left me behind for at the battlefield or what have you.
You didn't leave me behind when I was stuck in wherever that was that your friend had taken me. I'd be a pretty poor sort of companion if I left you behind there.
So we were out of time and then out of space. That's a very strange way we're going for this. I don't know anymore, Jurek. I mean, obviously, like, Ajla's taken the sword and, with you. But again, as she says, I was surprised that she wasn't with me when I went into the past. But I don't know what that means. Like, the only way I can be separated from her is to be not in the same time. Because she
If, you look,
came.
if you're looking at me for answers, I don't know that I have any.
I know. If it was a, if it was as easy as putting her in a different time, I almost want to figure out a way to, I guess, put her back in the past, I suppose. To, I guess, break the bond. I mean, I guess the void was near here. So she came and found me when you were lost in the void. Or you somehow got the sword there. And then she came back to me. But then she was not with me when I was in the past. I guess I'm trying to puzzle this out because I don't know if it's enough to be able to hide out in your old warband's winter quarters. We need to find a way to break this. Because I don't know what she wants. Did she say anything to you? Do you remember?
I think she wants to break the binding as much as you do. She wants to be out. But I think she'd use you to get out.
You think she would take over
Aye. There's not much. There's not much kindness there. Determination. Maybe what we need to do is find another solution for her.
You mean to try to find another blade bearer? You think that's something that... You think that's something that can be transferred somehow? If we find someone to...
Seems to me that's what those fools were trying to do when you found the blade in the first place.
They were going to run him through and then transfer Vess into him? That seems... I don't know.
I don't know what else to make of it.
But I mean, it seems like what's required is to be run through. I mean, you think he was willing to die to allow her to inhabit?
Folks believe hard enough in something, they'll do just about anything.
That's true enough. Do you think she would tell you? I've been keeping her sheathed this whole time.
I think it would make sense for me to ask. Whether she'll tell me the truth or tell me anything at all is another matter.
True. I mean, we can at least try. She likes to wander, I guess, when I'm asleep.
Aye.
Well, I guess the sooner we find out, the sooner we can figure out where to go. So, and now, of course, just like anything else, the more you want it or something, the less you're able to get there. You think it's safe here? And Ajla looks around. Do you think it's safe here to sleep? Or get some rest, I guess.
And Jurek looks around, to kind of surveying the land as best he can in the dark. It's as safe as anywhere.
All right. Should I hold her, or should you?
I think the best thing is if you get some rest. She'll come to me.
Okay. And Ajla will find a clear patch nearby and lie down away from the fire and try try to get some sleep. You could see, like, in the line of her back, as she's facing away from you, that she's kind of trying to relax, but there's like this sense of her, like, being unable to, because she just wants to get this done. And so it's kind of like a fight to go to sleep, to relax enough to go to sleep without taking too much time. But yeah, she can't wait to hear what, if anything, that Bess says to you after the rest. And finally, she goes to sleep. You can see her arm, like, drop, and you can see her head kind of tilt away as if she's definitely hitting slumber. And then, of course, a few minutes later, she turns fully back to you and faces the fire. Without getting up, she'll actually just kind of tuck her head on her hand and then look at you. I could barely hear anything, Jurek. You kept me sheathed the whole time. I could have helped you with that, with the problems at hand.
I don't know what you want in return for your help, though.
You can talk to me. I mean, you understand me.
Do I?
Both warriors, aren't we?
We both were. I don't know what either of us are now.
Are you so far removed from fighting that you forgot what it was like to have the thrill of battle? Showing and feeling your skill as you wielded your weapon and dispatching your enemies, watching them fall under your blade. You forgot all that. Really?
I remember well enough.
As I said before, you are a puzzle, Jurek. How can you not want to feel those things again? I've been asleep for a very long time. And as I said before, it's been a long time since I've felt.
The problem as I see it is after those feelings come other feelings.
Like what?
You never saw the weeping of those who were left behind when you killed someone. You never wondered what the purpose of all that killing and war was achieving, or whose interest it was serving. You never wondered if the world wouldn't have been a better place if you'd chosen to make pots or cut wood
She looks at you with amazement and disbelief. I was good at it. I am good at it. Wielding a blade. Cutting them down. Watching as the life left their faces. Their spirits went to the afterlife. There was no regret. If there was any regret, it would be that there weren't more at the end of a battle to enjoy that thrill, that feeling like riding a wave. Did you never feel it and smell it and hear it? I could almost taste it.
Oh, I felt it.
And
I think Jurek just sits looking into the fire for a long time without knowing how to answer.
did your companions feel this way? That you do? Did they always think about this? About the aftermath? Or did they recount with drink the stories of glory and blood that they brought after the battle? Which was their true feelings then? When they were in their glory? You can't tell me that you didn't revel in those things either, Jurek.
Aye, maybe so. But it doesn't mean the world was any better for me passing through it, does it?
You talk as if you're trying to leave a legacy of some sort. What are you trying to leave? When you take your final steps from here, what do you want them to remember?
Someone they could rely on, not someone they had to fear.
They feared me back then. They heard my name and they ran.
I'm sure they did. Yeah. You unnerve me now.
Even as I stare at you with your friend's face.
Especially when you do that.
What would you have me do, Jurek?
And we get to the matter. What is it you want, Vess? What will it take for you to leave Ajla?
To leave my ancestor who is bound to the blade. Hmm. She was bound to me by blood. In both ways. The spilling of it and the sharing of it. She'll be hard-pressed to remove the bond from her. All the while, as Vess is saying this, she's smiling widely. Unless a better specimen can be found of my blood, and then their blood spilled on the blade, I don't think I'm leaving Ajla anytime soon. Does that help?
It clarifies some things.
I think you'll find it difficult. The Blade Cult, when they had me and they were going to complete their ceremony, I don't know if they knew about the shared blood part. I
So
think you'll find
what would have happened to that poor fool they were planning to run through?
I think he would have fed the blade, and we would have just had another dead warrior.
Well,
Another victim to my kiss at my feet.
well, as you say, perhaps you'll be there in Ajla for a good long while.
We will pass each other in consciousness. I might tell her. I might not. Bless you. But I will say this, Jurek. Until those conditions are met, I don't think I'll be leaving Ajla anytime soon.
It seems not.
I will go back to sleep so you can get your rest. And this is where she will get up, and then she will actually come over to you and look down at you, Ajla's face with Vess's look staring down at you. I'm sure we'll talk again, Jurek. Or maybe you want to test your blade against mine. Again.
Or maybe one of these nights you'll leave me in peace.
Maybe. Would that be... Is that what you want, Jurek? For me to leave you in peace?
I'm used to my own company.
She would have you leave her, you know.
I know. But I've got nothing better to do with my time.
I suspect that's not the whole story. But keep your own counsel, Jurek. You will eventually give it up, sooner or later.
We'll see.
And then she will go back to where Ajla was laying down and do that thing that she does of making it so clear, or to just tease going to sleep. And then she will. And then a few minutes later, Ajla will yawn and get up. I know she talked to me, but I don't remember what she said. And she kept giving me this sly look, like this smile that wouldn't come off. Well, I can't really see her face, but I just remember a smile. Did she tell you anything?
She's not going to leave willingly.
That is what's written on the blade.
Well, we'll talk more in the morning.
You need to get your rest. I'll take watch. And try to see if I can remember what she said. And then Ajla will sit up and then look at the fire.
And I think Jurek will pretty swiftly pass out.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to roll and make camp?
Yeah.
Which is plus supply. You want to roll this one or me? Our supply is 2. Which is not encouraging.
Let me give it a shot. Give me a second. Just trying to figure out which of these die I want to use. There we go. It's make camp?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's plus supply, which is 2.
Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. So that's an 8 versus a 5 and a 4. Yay.
Perfect. Strong hit.
Okay, 2.
So we can choose 2 things.
Check health. Let me see. Okay, good. Spirit needs some bolstering. Well, maybe a small bolster. Let me see.
I'm going to take the recuperate for one of them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Get my health back up to 3.
I think. Yeah. So we picked 2 each. All right. So I think I'm going to pick 1 spirit and 1 momentum.
I'm going to take the spirit as well. I was thinking about taking the break camp bonus, but yeah, let's get the spirit back up.
Now, I hope you don't mind, but I think it makes sense to just have 1 shared track of momentum, health. Well, definitely momentum and health, I'm going to say, along with obviously the supply, which is covering all of us. Spirit, I'm kind of like wondering whether it's going to be a different thing, because again, it's like it's very two very different things for between Ajla and Vess. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep that separate.
I was almost thinking spirit and momentum, it would make sense to be separate.
You think?
Yeah, because momentum, and what does momentum represent? It's kind of your positioning in terms of kind of making progress in your goals, right? So
true.
Our goals are separate things to Ajla's.
True. Although I never really set anything up for Vess because I wasn't sure how, how that was gonna work. I mean,
that's it's true. It's because the problem is it's also like unlikely she gets a chance to build it up very much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like weird to be an NPC and a PC at the same time.
Hey, this was your idea.
I know. I like making things hard for myself. Well, it's weird. But if anything, it's like it kind of plays into the co-op / GM-less system. It's like, yeah, I'm like, playing the NPC and the PC at the same time. Sure, absolutely. Do you want to take another 5-minute break?
Sure.
Hitting the hour mark. Yeah, let's do 5. So, yeah, 5 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna say that the night goes pretty much uneventful, and we can break camp. So if we've already set the journey. So it's not like we need to really do anything. I mean, like, once we break camp, right? I mean, it's only when you start something.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, no, well, you make the journey move like every day or every segment of the journey.
Okay. And so this would be the part where we would roll wits?
Yeah, yeah, right. I can't get to the progress track for it now, so maybe you can see where we're at with that if we
Okay,
need to.
let me
But
see. Okay, Journey to White Cairn. We're only at 2 progress.
okay, yeah,
With it
that's
on a
fine.
formidable journey. All
Okay, yeah, yeah. So we've
right,
got a
so
way
hold
to
on.
go. Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, so Undertaker Journey.
Mhm.
Roll wits. We are not setting off from a community which we share a bond, so that's no +1. So plus, if we do mine, give me a second. +2. All right.
Aren't you 3 wits?
I'm at 2 wits.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you? Oh yeah,
Heart.
three is your 3 is hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, no, no problem. Okay, so +2. Okay. All right, so that's an 8 versus a 5 and a 2. Okay, we're rolling with these dice
Oh,
now. Woo. Um,
so
what is
we
it?
get to mark progress. So it's one box for formidable.
Okay, let me go ahead and mark that.
So we should be up to 3.
Mm-hmm. Should be. Yes, 3.
On a strong hit, you reach a waypoint. Um,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
either we make good use of our resources, or we can trade some supply for extra momentum.
Mm.
I feel like we probably need that supply.
We need the supply. I mean,
Yeah,
so.
we're not
Uh,
rushing, right?
right. So,
So we just mark in progress and no adjustment to anything else.
okay.
And then
So,
we're going to look for a waypoint.
okay. Now, is this like I add one more progress, right? So that brings us up to
Yeah,
4? Okay.
no, just a 3, just 3.
Okay.
If we were at 2 before today, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Sure. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Uh,
Gotcha. Okay. Ugh, brain does not want to work. Okay. No, we're cool. So yeah, if we move at speed, that's when we mark the progress and take the +1 momentum at the cost of a
yeah,
supply.
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you really want to, but I don't think we're rushing.
No,
We are
no, no.
right. So shall I roll a location oracle?
Yes, please.
97
I don't know what that
woods.
means. We're in the woods.
We're in the woods. Okay, well
More
that's fine.
woods.
Yeah. So I guess we're coming off this moor and maybe away from this
Mm,
rock strewn moor, and maybe starting to head a little up a higher, slightly higher altitude and through
mm.
some woods.
Okay.
But that's yeah, that's just progress for today. So
Okay. Just see something. It seems okay. Destinations.
I think yeah, we see Jurek looking behind every once in a while, but there doesn't seem to be any sign of anyone following,
Right.
which is a relief.
Yeah, it really is. And she'll ask Yurik. It's like, are you looking for that Iron Priest?
Just making sure.
I mean, people are of changeable hearts all the time. I mean, hopefully, with Orme and Tome watching him, maybe he will see the folly. I mean, you let him go.
I hope so. People don't change easy though, and they don't drop grudges easy.
Would you say that about yourself?
I try.
I mean, obviously you've learned. You've learned since that time. It's not like you didn't change your mind. You are not hidebound to being that person that you were. So there's good there.
I'll let you be the judge of that.
I think so. I mean, I don't really think saying that you have no better place to be is enough to keep you getting in trouble with me.
She told you I said that?
What?
That's what I said to her last night.
No, I thought you told me that.
Maybe I did.
What did she say?
She said that whatever they were trying to do with that sacrifice was not going to work. Because the victim was not of her bloodline.
So they would have killed one of their own for no reason. I mean, I'm glad I stopped them, but do you believe in fate?
I suppose I do.
You think it led me there? To be blooded so Vess could get in?
I've rolled the dice around a campfire enough times. To judge those odds must be pretty long odds otherwise.
So that means it's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, to break my bond or binding with her. I have to offer up somebody else from the bloodline to take this on. I don't know.
So she says. Perhaps we need to look for another way.
I'm open to trying anything. I mean, although if that means having somebody else blooded by her, I don't know if I can do that to anyone.
I had a feeling you'd say that. And I agree. We need to look for another way.
Because I have a feeling it won't end with me. Even if by some horrible diverging of fate and something happens to me, I don't think it ends there. Because then I think she will get what she wants.
I think you're right about that.
I mean, we can continue this journey to White Cairn, but I don't think we should stop there. I think if there's no way to get answers, I think we're going to need to get word from somebody who might know how to break this sort of thing.
Seems to me there might be another way.
It's like being under a geas, but worse, because the caster of Aegeus isn't along for the ride.
What if we were to take the blade north, far north, all the way north,
Okay.
and bury it?
But what about her? What about her talent of ending up near me again? Remember, I tried throwing it away, and it ended up in the void, and kept getting it back.
So then you're right. We need someone who can help us. We need a sorcerer.
A true sorcerer. But one that will work with us instead of, well, trying to kill us. Gods.
Aye. That's no easy thing to find.
No. They're either falsely lauded, they have a reputation that is unfounded, or they are hard to find because they will not announce their presence anywhere.
And if we can find one, there's no guarantee they're any friendlier than that friend of Gilrickin's.
Yeah. Well, maybe we're on the right path again. If you believe in fate, maybe we'll have to see what fate has in store, as ridiculous as that may be. Ajla starts to laugh because it's like, it seems absurd, but no better ideas are presenting themselves at the moment.
Well,
Were you going to do that? Out of nowhere, she asks you, were you going to give Orm tales of your doings?
I owe the man something. Without him, I wouldn't have been able to get you back from wherever you were.
One thing I can say about Orm, he is very dependable. And can be loyal to a fault, so.
That's good to know. There are few enough like him in the world.
There are.
Now, I think it's time I gathered some wood. Let's get a fire started.
And as you're setting. So, is this the beginning of settling in? Or what is.
Yeah, we could make camp again. I mean, the other option that occurs to me is to try and resupply, which would mean one of us goes hunting or foraging.
Or, you know, either, you know? Like one of us goes hunting, the other one goes foraging.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we
Yeah.
could.
So, yeah, sure. I mean, do we each roll for that, or is it like.
Yeah, I guess if we're doing two separate things, we can.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. Resupply.
So that's plus wits.
Yep. Okay, I already know what my
Not
wits
my
are.
best move.
All right.
Ooh.
No. That's a weak hit for me because it's like a 5 versus an 8 and a 4.
Same for me. I got a 7 versus a 9 and a 2.
Okay. Oof. Take up to
Ah,
supply, but suffer negative momentum for each.
your momentum's already pretty low. I've got some momentum to burn, so I could do it.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do 1 for 1 because I don't want to kill my what momentum I do have. Poop. Okay. Supply 1. Or wait.
Supply
Oh yeah,
goes
that's
up
because
and momentum goes down. Yeah.
Okay, so for both. Wait. Okay, since we're doing two separate things,
Mm-hmm.
would it
You do
add?
yours first, and then I'll do mine. Yeah.
Okay, so then I would do 3. And I'm just doing it across the board since we share the
Yeah.
same supply line. And then
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take
Yeah, it's
a
kind of weird
hit
the way
to
it's set up. It would.
momentum.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I'll burn 2 momentum. And I think we see a rare grin on Jurek's face as he comes back with a young deer buck across his back.
Very good luck hunting. How are you able to snag him?
I saw some sign. I lay in wait. No bow, so I had to jump him with my sword.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I've never been much for hunting.
Well, I have done a short bow, but not in a very long time, so I'm glad to have foraged for today.
Tavik was a much better shot than I ever was.
He was always very good at ranged weapons. Did he ever show you that trick he did with the knives?
Oh, not just once either. Anytime he'd had a skinful of wine.
Not a surprise.
Very proud of that trick he was.
Yes. I think he showed, well, he had been practicing, and he showed it to me before he left. And it was quite funny. Although he was probably a lot more sober when he first tried it with me than when he I guess continued on with you. I'm sorry to not have known him as well as you did.
Oh well, I didn't know him under the best of circumstances, so maybe you're better off.
Well, I have happy memories of him.
That's good. You keep hold of those.
I wonder if that's again an example of fate. If we had met during his tour with the warband, would I have built or seen other memories that would have tarnished his happy ones? I don't know. I think I think you told me. I think you told me that you were ambushed. Do you know by whom? When Tavik took the mortal hits that eventually killed him. Who was it? Or was it a group?
We were at war.
So basically, you don't know.
I don't know exactly who they were.
But you're saying he died from all those wounds. Jurek?
They did for him right enough.
I'm sure you did all you could. I mean, if anything, he did say he knew he wasn't going to die in his bed in the village. And I don't blame him.
You take up with a warband. You don't expect to die in your bed, peaceful.
No, I guess you don't.
I think it's your watch first tonight.
That's fine. Gotta go?
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, so we kind of leave it at Ajla's on watch and what have you. If you've got to go.
Should we
Go
do the
ahead.
night camp roll? Yeah, I'm not super in a rush, but yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's fine if you want to do that.
Now we've got +5 on the make camp roll after all that.
Go
All
for it.
that foraging. Let's do it.
Okay.
That's an 8 versus a double 3.
Ooh. All right.
Strong hit with a match.
Okay. So each choose 2. You don't need any spirits. And think. Yeah, I'm back up to health.
I'm going to take a health.
Can definitely take momentum for sure.
Oh, you can take that? Yeah, I'll take a momentum as well.
I just wish I could take momentum again. Because I need it. Damn. Yeah, I really don't.
If in doubt, you can always take the +1 for the next leg of the journey.
Okay. Um. So this would be roll wits and then +1.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh shit! What the fuck does that mean?
Miss for the match.
6 + 1 is 7 versus 2 sevens. The
Well,
fuck?
there's an exciting place to start off with next time.
Jesus. I don't know what that means.
Our journey the next day does not go well.
No, waylaid by a perilous event. Pay the price. Yeah, let's roll on that next time because that seems like a great place to start. Fabulous. That's great. I'm just looking at it like, oh no. Yeah. So yes, fitting way to end. Oh God. Stars, wishes. I don't know if you.
Yeah.
Not that. Not that roll.
No, I think that's a perfect cliffhanger.
It's great. It's great. No problem. Yeah. No, I mean, again, role play was fun and good. You know, that was wow. I wasn't sure how that thing was gonna go with Somshiyr, so I mean, like, kudos for going back and forth. That was good.
Yeah, that was fun. That get to bargain with him in that way was yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we might see him again, but not maybe.
I
I'm
think we
hoping.
have to at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe not in
What that
this.
means.
Right. It'll probably be a little different the next time because
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to drop it, but it's going to be a rough road for him. I don't think he's going to be as effective an Iron Priest as he's been because he's had to let go now of this obsession or this need for revenge.
Yeah, he's had to question it. Yeah.
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 So that's different for him.
Do we have any progress track stuff to do at the end here?
Yeah, that's a
I feel like you should take on your quest because we found something out about
yeah.
like what Vess wants.
Okay. And then what about helping Jurek better story?
Yeah. What do you think?
I I feel like, and not that I can codify this in any way at the moment, but I mean I feel like there was something else that like kind of solidified things a little bit more, that he was not like he wasn't falling, he wasn't reverting back to like his old way of thinking.
Yeah,
Not just the thing
and
with the Iron Priest, but I mean there was something afterwards that just kind of like felt like, he was taking that shift,
mhm.
you know. So I think
Yeah,
it's
and like she was waiting for him to do something she didn't like, and he didn't do that. So
right. Yeah.
that's
So
kind of encouraging for her. So yeah,
yeah. Okay.
I would take her. So you would get that's dangerous. So you get two boxes for a
Two brothers?
dangerous.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
for a dangerous you do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
For formidable's the one in the middle. You just get one box,
Got it. Okay.
and harder than that, it's fractions of boxes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Cool. And then we look. Then we're gonna be taking a break for at least a couple of weeks because we
Mm-hmm.
are going to be playing Karn. Oh, this
Yeah.
will be fun. Do you want us to do some character creation beforehand, or you think it's gonna be that quick that we don't have to worry about it?
Let's have a yeah. We can have a chat about it at some point. Um, yeah, we can have a think about it. Maybe you just
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, like I haven't really looked at the rules or anything like that for it yet. I mean, I've seen the character keeper, so I mean, like
yeah.
it's
It's real straightforward. There's also some like optional kind of I don't know if we want to use this, but it's kind of cool where it gives you some like classic fantasy type classes.
mm,
But all that really does is give you like a couple of things to at the start, and that's it's almost more like a background in a
right,
trophy or something. So it's like
right.
it's real light.
Bare bones and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's not like oh, this is your like XP level chart or anything like that. It doesn't that game doesn't have anything like that at all. So
right. I think.
um,
Oh shoot! Hold on a second. Let me think a minute. I think to keep it with just us. I mean, I don't know what kind of level of you know um, privacy you want for it, but I mean, you may want to create a private group DM for
sure,
us
yeah,
and
that's a
include
good
Bob
idea.
for like the second
Yep,
session if
yep.
you want. And then
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's include him. Yeah.
yeah, and then this way it's like, you can shove the character keeper if you're going to use the Google
Mm,
Sheets one. You can shove the character keeper in there and then like anything that else that you want us to know before next
yeah.
time. Like if you want us to do the character creation like ahead of time, that's fine too. Just get to the meat of the
Yeah, I
adventure.
think we don't need to, but we could like give it a couple of have a
Talk
thought
about it.
about it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So
So
um,
yeah,
yeah,
just yeah, go ahead and like
I'll put some
make
stuff
a note.
in Discord tomorrow.
Okay, great. Yeah. All right. So good session, and
Cool.
then
Yeah.
El Paso tomorrow.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Let's see. I
I'll,
have a brain left because
I'll
I
see
just
you in
looked things up on the
yeah.
fly. Few hours.
See you in a few hours. Yeah.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. See you
Thanks.
later.
Bye.
Bye.